Hey. So today is going to be more of a soft-spoken kind of video. So I wanted to do a video on my kind of like a love letter to my red lipsticks. I think when most people kind of get into makeup, everyone wants to find their red lip. Like, not just any like red lipstick, but like the red lipstick. And I have been on a little quest, so I figured I'd show off all my red lipsticks. I can swatch them and talk about my favorite one and whatnot. So I think most people, when they get into red lipsticks, they immediately get recommended blue-based reds. I think one of the most recommended blue-based reds I come across is MAC's Ruby Woo. If that would focus, come on. There we go. There we go. Ruby Woo. So I don't have the original one. This is the retro matte formula. You can also get the new Maximal formula, but I do not have that. So Ruby Woo has kind of been crowned as like the best blue-based red you can get. It does, I will follow this up with saying that the colors will look different on camera. I do notice that this camera really tends to like warm things up, so it does look a lot more like cooler in person. Like, I feel like it looks orangey on camera, but it does not in real life. But I'm gonna swatch that for you. It's not gonna lie, I love satin. I love satin lipstick, even though it's red. I'll take the risk of the lipstick bleeding for that satin formula. But here you go. It looks like a true red on camera, but on my skin it looks almost pink. And I see this one recommended a lot, and the main reason why I don't like blue-based reds, I don't hate them, but they're not my favorite, is I think they make me look kind of clownish. And I do believe it's because of the blue in the lipstick. So when I put this on, it looks almost fuchsia in person, which is not a red. So I'm gonna go in with the most kind of recommended orange red that I see, which is MAC Chili. It looks very orange on camera, very orange, but it does not look nearly as orange on like in person. As I've stated, the colors will appear warmer on camera because of the lighting. So I would recommend, I always recommend like seeing and testing things in person. We got chili. And this is the new Maximals formula. Yeah, Maximal matte lipstick, silky matte. I'm just gonna put that right below Ruby Woo so you can really see the difference. And on my skin, it is a true red. It is a true red. Like on camera, again, it looks crazy orange, but in real life, it actually does this every time I try to do like swatches. I had to like twist my arm all crazy. Like, it looks closer to Ruby Woo does on camera in person than it does. So this looks more like this, like in person. Does that make sense? So we have chili, and then let's see, we're gonna do a drugstore one. So this is from Ramble. This is certainly red, and this one is definitely brighter than Ruby Woo. It's still cooler than chili. Some more of that blue. There's less blue in this one than in Ruby Woo, so it shows up. It still shows up as kind of like pinky, like a pinky red on me, but it is a little more on the neutral side. It is still cool leaning though. I will say it is much brighter. Okay, come on. like fiddle around with this a little bit. So Certainly Red is on the bottom. It is much brighter than Ruby Woo. Again, I'm not like a makeup guru, I'm not a beauty guru. I have no idea what I'm doing, honestly. So forgive my terrible like swatching and camera stuff. But anyway, we're having fun though. We're having fun. It is like much brighter, so like in terms of like mutedness, like how muted a lipstick is, it is very bright. I do think I look better in muted colors, but yeah. So if you are like a spring season, if you're into like seasons, like color seasons, this one is very bright, the opposite of muted. Let's see. I had another one here. Give me a second. But alright, let's keep going. Sticking in themes of like brightness, we're going to be going to Estee Lauder's Pure Color lipstick. This is the matte formula. And 333 Persuasive. So this actually is listed, at least on their website, this is listed as an orange. So this isn't even in the reds category, but this is such a beautiful red. Again, I think if you have really cool undertones, this is going to pull very orange on you, but like this is such a beautiful red. Again, looking orange on camera, kind of like compare it with Chili. Let's see, it's here, Chili. Compare them on camera. So this is them side by side. Here we go. Both orangey, however, Persuasive is lighter and brighter than Chili. So, I'm just gonna swatch this. And actually, I'm gonna bring my swatches around to the other side so I can show the camera better. Give me a second. Just give me a second. This is trial and error, but I appreciate you being here. I like the new matte formula from MAC because the retro matte is kind of like you have to pull on it a little bit. There, you can see it a bit better. So the bottom one is 333 Persuasive, and it is lighter, and it is quite it's brighter. It's more akin to the Certainly Red by Revlon in terms of like brightness versus mutedness. So like a muted, like, you know, it's like if you imagine like a vibrant like neon, that's like as like bright you can get, versus like something that's more like it's almost like gray, if that makes sense. But anyway, it's a beautiful orange red, and the formula is actually very comfortable, even though it is a matte lipstick. It's very nice. So let's see what we have. Then the last two are completely like an orange, like it's not a red, but if you have the right undertones, it can be perceived as like reddish. And same with this one. So depending on like whether you prefer pink or orange, if you have really warm undertones, so this one is Bricola, and if you have warm undertones, this is going to come off as more pink, especially if you have like a deeper skin tone. This is going to be more of like a pinky kind of shade. Because I'm very fair, I'm very fair skinned. I'm going to really wash my arm after this because I am pale. It does come across as more red. And this one, again, knowing that the colors are warmer on camera, this is actually quite a nice, like, pinky red. It is much more muted than the other three. It's much more of like a brick kind of color. And honestly, it's very lovely. But I do think, like, I love the orange. I really do. So I think if you want something that's more muted, if you are fair skinned, if you're pale, Bricola can be a very nice red. If you find like most reds come across as like too much like in your face. But if you want something that's more orangey but also kind of muted, you can do this one. It's not cool. I wish I had Paramount because I feel like you could compare it to like a more orangey Paramount. So this bottom one is Espresso Yourself. Whoops, my bad. And it comes across as like a very like brown orange. It's described by MAC as a blackened orange, but it is such a beautiful like orangey red color on the lips because again, colors do translate differently. And I think if you like Toast of New York, and it comes like for me, Toast of New York comes across as like this like very light kind of like orangey color. I think you would like Espresso Yourself if you wanted something a bit more intense and a bit deeper. And honestly, it's one of my current favorites. I think it's more of a recent purchase, so I haven't really gotten a chance to use it as much. But I love it. It's gorgeous. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to show these on camera. So we'll show them both on camera. Bricola and Espresso Yourself. Let's roll these two up. And then side to side. Let me hide my face. There we go. That's beautiful. You can clearly see the more Bricola is more pinky and this one's more orange, but both of them can come across as a beautiful kind of red color. And that's why I like Erin Parsons, who I love Erin Parsons. She got Marilyn Monroe's lipstick and it's orange. It's like, oh my god, orange. But the thing is, like, orange on the right skin tone can appear red. And that's on Color Theory, which, you know, everyone's been talking about on YouTube. Beauty Space, but you can see all the different colors. Again, from top to bottom, we have Ruby Woo, we have Chili, Certainly Red by Revlon, Persuasive by Estee Lauder, Bricola, and finally Espresso Yourself by MAC. And honestly, they're all stunning in their own ways, but there are these differences, and I feel like if you're not like I feel like if you do want a blue-based red, you know, Ruby Woo Classic, I think there's so many videos talking about, you know, which red, like blue-based reds, because, you know, a lot of people with warm undertones do love the Ruby Woo, but I know, like, if you're more neutral or like olive skin toned, I feel like these would be good options for you. I know, like, olive girlies love like Marrakesh by MAC, but I do not have that one. But yeah, this was kind of just like a rambly video. You can see them. I'm gonna have to wash them off.